Good afternoon, everyone. It's been a while. I realize that we've been traveling, we've been doing a lot of things here at the Pill Method, but we're back again for one more episode of Finance Fridays. And I really do believe you're going to like what we have for this week because we're going to be answering some things that some people have been saying for quite a while. They'll post something on the internet that says you do not need a computer to help you to get out of debt. You can do this yourself. In fact, I entitled this, I Can Do This Myself. I Don't Need a Computer. But what we're going to go into is why the idea of paying back debt, understanding an amortization schedule is way more complicated than you think. There are so many things to consider that without a computer, it would take you years to do the calculations. So we're going to go over some of that today, but I want to make some things very, very clear. I mentioned this in my book. In fact, let me go ahead and put the book on the screen here for you. And let's see here. We're going to share that. All right. There we go. And there we are. Okay. So what we talk about in the book is that you don't need a computer to get out of debt faster. People have been doing it forever. They have been figuring it out. They've come up with, they work extra jobs. They do what they can to pull the money together to pay off their debt a lot sooner than the amortization schedule says, than the bank says they have to follow their schedule. You don't have to. You can pay extra money on your own. And in fact, people ask me, Don, what's the difference between me applying $1,000 extra to my debt and you telling me to apply an extra $1,000 to my debt? And the answer is there's absolutely no difference. But that's not what we're doing here at the Pill Method. So it's way more complicated than that. We're going to be able to get into that. So do I need to have a computer? No. Do I need to do something special? Nope. I can pay extra on my own. I can do a lot of these things just on my own. But what I can't do is when you pay extra, can you answer this question? When you put an extra $100 or $500 on your mortgage, can you know how much interest you just saved? That is going to be key to all of this. Can we manage the cost? So we're going to be putting some things up on the screen. We're going to go over that. But go on Amazon, pick up the book. In fact, if you go to my website right now, you can go to pillmethod.com, and then scroll down, and you'll be able to see where you can get a free chapter of my new book. And then if you like it, just go ahead and purchase it on Amazon and then review it. And you get a lot of good information. Then contact us, and then you can get a free savings report letting you know the month, day, and year you can be debt-free and how much interest you can save. The key here, folks, is to save the maximum amount of interest that's mathematically possible and not fall into the trap that anything you do to get out of debt is as good as any other thing you can do. Not true. So we're going to be able to go over some of that today. So let me go over here. I'm going to take a look at my other screen and get that up and see. And from time to time, I'll be checking to see if there are any extra, if any got some questions, I'll be glad to answer them. And If you want to email me at info@thepillmethod.com, do so, and we'll answer your questions. And if you want to put some questions up, post some questions, I'll try to notice, and then we'll get. But we're trying to get a whole crew, production staff, all of that. Have somebody, doing all that and feeding me the questions. But right now, it's just me. So, so we'll see what we can do. Let me scroll down here and see if who's in the room and there's any questions or not. But right now, no questions. So there we are. Put that on there. So let's get this off the screen, and let me put something on the screen. So I've got some notes here, and we're going to get this off. Oh, okay, let me scroll down here, see what's going on. There we are. Okay, who's in the room? There we are. Okay. Okay, so let's get this off the screen and we'll get started. And stop share. All right, so let us put this up and we'll go over some scenarios. There we are. And we'll be able to switch back and forth, going from one thing to the other. Okay, great. All right, so I'm going to actually put the calculator, the opportunity cost calculator, up on the screen, and then we'll be able to talk about it and see what it actually does as opposed to what people think that it does. What I can tell you is it is not an expensive alarm clock to remind you to do things you could do on your own. There's a lot of calculations that will give you the exact amount of money to move, what month to move it in, what day of the month to move that money on, and which loan to apply it to, and then calculate your interest savings. And then we'll just keep track of it. Okay, so we'll get that up, and then we'll reset the program here and go to work. All right, any questions so far? Nope, still no questions. All right, so we've got that, and payout date. All right, so I'm gonna go over just the basics of the program, and then that will already answer some questions, okay? So let me share again. There we go. All right, so here we go. So what we've got here is the opportunity cost calculator on the screen. And this is what's called the action plan. This is where we track all the income and all of the outgo, all the bills, everything you got to pay, and then the income as well. So we have here, and we can see 3 months at a time. So that would be January. We got February and March. Okay. So that's where we're going to start. We'll start there. And we'll call this couple, we'll call them John and Rebecca Jones. All right, it's my favorite couple, John and Rebecca Jones. And let's take a look at what John and Rebecca Jones have going on here. We're going to click on the accounts tab. See, I have 3 tabs to kind of run things here. I've got the action plan, I've got the budget tab, I got the accounts tab. And in here, John and Rebecca Jones have $500 in checking. They got $5,138 in savings. There's a $25,000 auto loan at 4%. Oh, there's $2,000 on their Visa at 21%. And here is a $200,000 mortgage at 6%. Now, this just happens to be one of their investment properties. And you know that if it's an investment property, it's kind of hard to get those really good interest rates that everybody wants. And then hopefully one of these days we'll be able to go over why you want the right interest rate for yourself, not necessarily the lowest interest rate. Maybe we'll go over that. And if you want to send in an email on that, it says, well, Don, I thought everybody would want the lowest interest rate. So if you want to ask a question about that, go right ahead. We'll be able to answer that for you. All right, so here's what we've got. Now let's take a look at the budget we're working with. So we go over to the budget tab and we can see that on average, John and Rebecca Jones have an income of $5,170.83. And their total monthly expenses, that is the household expenses plus what they're spending on what they're paying towards their debt, the minimum payments, okay? And so when we subtract that out, they have left over $1,410.45 average on the month. Now, for a lot of folks, when I meet them, they say, well, what if we don't have money left over? And I said, well, most people that I run into have quite a bit of money left over. They just don't realize it. Now, I came up in the day when you had to have, you had a checkbook and you couldn't go online. There was no internet. And so you had a checkbook and you had a check register with it. And so when you wrote a check, you put it in your check register. This is how much I spent out of that. So once we started to get, technology involved, then a lot of people stopped using the check registers because I could just go online. Stop keeping a close eye on it. They stopped justifying their checkbook at the end of the month. And when the funds in the checking account get low, we get an email. It says, it's hit that level. It says, well, once I get down to $100 or once I get down to $500, I just want to give a cash infusion to the checking account. So people stop really focusing on how much money they were spending. And so for some, it feels like paycheck to paycheck. But if they were to track their income and track their outgo and take a look at the difference, they would see that once I pay for everything I need to pay for, even my fun, it seems like I have a lot of money left over. In this case, $1,400 left over. So what's happening with this? So the program says, well, with what John and Rebecca Jones have going on with the debt that they have, they'll be able to save $179,420.84 in interest. This is the key. So once you get going here, if you don't know what your interest consumption is per month, you have no idea how much interest you can save. You have to have a baseline. You have to have a way to calculate what you're spending every month in everything. So if you have no idea how much interest you're spending each month, you just know your interest rate, but you don't know your interest cost, that's a problem. But once you know that, you can do some serious calculations. And now this is how much interest they could save. And this number, the potential interest saved, drives this number, paying off all of that debt in 7.7 years without changing their budget and without sacrificing lifestyle. Here is their payoff date in 2027, not 30 years from now in 2050, but in 2027 out of debt. Fantastic information. So how are we going to do that? So I'm going to go in here, take a look at some notes here. And so one of the things that this program can do that would be very difficult for us to do on our own is to predict the payoff of our current debt. So that we can eliminate the most expensive interest payments. So let me give you an idea of what's going on here. So we're taking a look at the action plan, and here is what's going on. Here's what the program is doing. All right. So John here gets paid $950 on January 1st. So we go in and tell the program that John got paid $950, just like this. And when we do, that disappears from the screen. It's gone. We can go over to accounts and we can actually see that he has $1,450 in checking right now because his paycheck, $950, got added to the $500 starting balance. That's $1,450. It matches exactly what he has at the bank. So because he has $1,450 in checking, he can now afford to pay the mortgage, and he pays the mortgage. He pays the utilities. Then Rebecca gets a paycheck, and that's added to the mix. And then the program starts to do something very exciting. It says, based on your spending habits here, it looks like, you see these little red arrows? That's the program talking to you, telling you this is something you can do. So you read it from left to right. On the 5th of the month, this is your from column, this is your to column. So the first column is the from, and from the checking account to the savings account, move $100.90. That $100.90 is the money you don't need for anything else. You're taking care of your fun budget, your lifestyle budget, because we talk about living an enhanced lifestyle. So that takes care of your lifestyle budget. It takes care of your regular monthly budget of the things you need to do, keep the lights on and keep heat in the house, or your electricity, gas, gasoline, tolls, all of those things that you have to spend, cable, cell phone, all those things you have to do to pay all of your bills. So now, so you've got that. You're going to make minimum payments to your debt, and you're going to put money away for savings, for retirement, for education for the kids, whatever your savings plan says, you put that away. Now, if you can take care of those 4 things, that, my friends, handles just about everything. And then what else is there except extra money that's left over? And so if you're tracking it, you can easily put that away. So the program says, let's put that away for a rainy day. This is how we start building up our reserve funds, putting that money away. And so we pay the phone bill. Rebecca gets another paycheck here. And now the program says, oh, now we can put $588.72 away into savings. Okay? So now watch this. So we're going to pretend that we're going to go all the way through January. And by the way, we do have an unitemized budget here for extras and for a little fun. All right? All of that is in the unitemized budget. So we can spend all of this, even this $1,300 every single month, all of this money, and still get out of debt in 7.7 years, because we're starting to put money away. All right? And then if we go down to February, we can see the same thing. What's going on here? We're paying our bills, we're getting money in, and the program says, oh, look here. If everything goes the way we'd like, $350 goes into savings, another $700 into savings, another $239 into savings, pay the bills, get the income. And then in March, look here, look, something fantastic starts to happen. We're going to take money from savings on the 8th of March and put it on the Visa and knock out the Visa, pay it all off. And here is what is exciting. The program is going to do an additional calculation here, and then once we know, we start paying off when we start paying off the Visa, then the program then will tell us, well, your future interest savings is $1,736.34. What does that mean? That means if you go ahead and pay that Visa off, from the start of the program, it took 2 months to pay the visa off, not paying a little bit extra and paying it off over 2 or 3 years. The money is sitting in your savings account because it's money you did not need to spend on anything else. So it's sitting there. So why not just pay off the visa in a lump sum? Bam, it's gone. So if you were to just make minimum payments to pay off $2,000, you would also have to pay an extra $1,736.34. So since you paid it all off, this is interest you did not have to pay. That is good news. All right. So we're going to get out of this. Go back down to the mortgage piece. And let's say here, we take a look at our mortgage is due on the 1st of the month. So John and Rebecca Jones would pay their mortgage on the 1st of the month, but the program says 7 days later, on the 8th of the month, let's apply $1,116.98 to mortgage principal. So we just click on this, pay that, and look what happens here. $5,435.91. We're applying that money to principal. Now, I want to show you something that's exciting. Now, have you ever heard of the law of diminishing return? There is a point at which more is too much. More is too much because remember, if you remember right, we had about $5,000 in our in our checking account. In our savings account, but the program is only putting $1,116.98. And I see. Hi, Ian. Ian Pedley from Australia is on, and he was there 12 minutes ago. Sorry, Ian, but I got so involved in this thing. But and so here's what's happening. So $5,435.91. Now, here is one thing that is very difficult to do if you don't have help. If more people knew how much interest they could save by applying money to principal, a lot more people would do it. Because we don't know. Banking is the only place where we put extra money on something and we don't know what we're getting for it. Let me give you an example. So you go to the store, you buy something on sale, you get the receipt back, and it tells you at the bottom of the receipt how much money you saved. When you pay extra on your car loan, when you pay extra on your mortgage, when you put a little extra money on the credit card, when you get a receipt back, no one tells you how much interest you saved. In fact, you don't even know to ask. You're giving that bank extra money on your car loan, knowing that you're saving time and you're saving interest, but nobody tells you how much. Not only do they not tell you, it doesn't even occur to us to ask how much we're saving. That is a problem. Because what we're also going to find out is that it is not true that anything you do to get out of debt is as good as any other thing you can do. That is a fallacy because you can make some serious, serious mistakes by putting the wrong amount of money somewhere else. So now we'll take a look at this. I got $5,435.91. Now I'm going to put a calculator on the screen here. All right. And you can't see it yet because I have to do a new share first. Hold on. All right. So we'll do a new share so you can see the calculator on the screen. Okay. So let me get this out of the way. All right. Okay. Wait a second here. All right. So new share. All right, good. All right, so now you can see, you should be able to see the calculator on the screen. Let me check on my other screen here to see if we could do that, okay? So now we're gonna take the 5,000 $435. Okay, 5,435.91. Okay, so that's what we have. All right, then we are going to take the amount of money that we're going to apply in principal, 1116.98. We're going to divide it by that, $1,116.98, and we get 4.866. Okay, 4.866. That's how much interest we can save per dollar applied. 4.866. So, all right. So we'll put that down in our notes here. Okay. 4.866. All right, $4.86, almost $4.87. That's a pretty good return on your money. Put $1 down, get $4.87 back. I like it. All right, so now, what if we did this? Since we have more money in the bank, we could just tell the program, you know what? I got more money in the bank. Why don't I do this? Put $1,500 down. We're going to do the calculation. The program does the calculations instantly, and now we can see, oh, our future interest savings is $7,259.77, and we still have plenty of money in the bank. So why not put more money on here and save a ton of interest there? $7,259.77. But guess what we don't know? We don't know how much interest we're saving per dollar, do we? Nope. It just looks like that's something we want to do. We're taught one way when we need to focus on another way. We don't want to put more where it's not needed. That's why the program stopped at 98 cents. Didn't round up to the next dollar. Didn't do that. It says stop here because it's important. Put this much money on this day, on this loan, important stuff. So we're going to do some more math. We're going to bring the calculator back up on the screen so that you can see it. All right. And so we're going to take that out. We're going to do, clear this. We're going to do 7,259.77 and divide that by 1,500. Okay. And we get, sorry, I did something wrong. Let me try that again. Okay, $7,259. See, this is live TV. I'm not editing this, so this is live. 7,259.77 divided by the 1,500 we're going to apply. Divide by 1,500, and we get 4.839. So that's less. That's less per dollar. 4.839. So we're actually saving less per dollar at this particular juncture, putting more money on where we're not supposed to, putting that amount of money on that day. So not only that, but shoot, instead of March 8th, why don't we just change this whole thing around and do, March 2nd? That's when we would have paid the mortgage anyway. We got the money in the bank. Why not pay more and pay it early? So now let's watch the $179,420.84 up in this window here. When we tell the program we want to pay more than the program suggested, and we want to pay it sooner than the program suggested, watch your $179,420.84. Watch the 420.84. That's the last 5 numbers there. 420.84 becomes 173.48.35. We're actually, the potential interest savings just went down when we wanted to apply more money at the wrong time. All of this matters. All of this matters. It is so important to keep that in mind, folks. So that's just one thing. So now I couldn't have stood on a street corner and told you by putting extra money on, you would have saved a lot more money by putting more money on. But overall, what is your overall interest cost? So remember this. The more interest you pay, the longer you stay in debt, okay? And when you can cut your interest costs more, the faster you get out of debt. The more interest you pay, the longer you stay in the debt. And when you can pay the least amount of interest possible, you get out of debt faster. Interest cost is the key. Not how much money you can throw at principal, but how much money you can save in interest. That's what's going on. Because if all of your loans were 0% interest, then every amount of money that you apply would go to principal, and we wouldn't have a problem. But right now, here's what's going on with this mortgage. Let me go into accounts. Let me open this up for you, okay? When we go into the mortgage here, click on edit, we can now see that we have $206.60 going to principal and $992.50 going to interest. That's a lot of money. Only this goes to principal, this goes to interest. That's why it is so expensive. That's why it takes so long to get out of debt. So you don't want to put the wrong amount of money in the wrong place. All right, let's take a look at something else while we're here. Let's take a look at the debt snowball, the infamous debt snowball. And I'm sorry, it's not infamous, it's famous, okay? A lot of people talk about it. And this is the way to get out of debt. And it works. I guarantee you that there are a lot of people out here that are watching this video right now that say, Don, the debt snowball worked. It worked for me. And my question, I only have one question. While the debt snowball was working and you were getting out of debt, how much extra interest did you pay because you weren't tracking it? On average, we found that on average, the average family will pay $30,000 to $50,000 more in interest than they need to by using the debt snowball, because they're not focused on their interest costs. They're just focused on knocking out the debt so that we can, check off boxes instead of how can we save the maximum amount of interest. Let me give you an idea here. So we already know that the program wants to pay off the Visa first. And we have a minimum payment of $50.88. So you got $50, $50.88. Classic debt snowball theory says put that on the auto loan here every month because the Visa would be paid off. Let's put that here, knock that out. And then all your extra money would go to the auto loan, pay that off early. Then take, the $510 or $511 or whatever it is, and put it towards the mortgage. I got that going, and I'll tell you a little story about this in a minute. So let's go in. So this program has a feature that we can kind of handle that. So we go over the preferences, click on that, let it load, and we go over here for what's called program focus settings. Click on that, and right now it's set to automatic. And here's what it says. When the focus is set to automatic, the program will automatically optimize the order you pay off the debts to become debt-free. You may change the focus setting. However, this could have a negative impact on your overall results. So we want to tell the program, we want to do the snowball. We want to do the snowball. We want to focus on paying off that car loan about 2 years early. Watch your 7.7 years. Watch your $179,000 over here in potential interest savings while we focus only on paying off the auto loan. Let's do that. Okay? And when the program recalculates, look here. It went from 7.7 to 7.8. It actually takes us longer to get out of debt when we do all the calculations. to pay off the car 2 years early, and our 179,000 in potential interest save just dropped to 177,000. And that's only in here because this program, even though you make mistakes, is trying its best to still save you the maximum amount of money. You're actually going to lose more than that. Let me show you how and why. We're going to go back into accounts, take a look. All right, watch this. So while we are focused on the auto loan, all right, the interest payments on the auto loan, we've got $377.08 going to principal, and only $83.33 goes to interest. So while you're putting the extra money on the debt and killing the interest payments, you're starting at $83.33, and it goes down from there. Plus, if you wanted to prepay this $377.08, it would only save you $83.33 in interest. That's it. Okay, which is, it's nothing to sneeze at. I mean, $80 is $80. So, I'm not decrying the $80. I'm just saying, is this the best and highest use of our money at this time? So let's get out of here while we're focusing on paying off the car for the next 2 years. All of our resources, all of our attention is going to the car. We are making minimum payments on the mortgage. And while we're making minimum payments on the mortgage for the next 2 years, we're paying this kind of interest. So tell me, folks, does it make sense to totally focus on the car and totally ignore the mortgage along the way? What if there was a program that knew exactly when to put your extra money out of the bank on the car and knew exactly when to put the extra money from the bank on the mortgage, so that we're applying stuff equally at the right time, in the right month, on the right day, to figure out how we can save the maximum amount of interest. Now, the car will still pay off before the mortgage, definitely. But we're not going to totally focus somewhere and totally ignore the fact that we're paying $900 extra a month just so that we can pay off the car faster, just so that we can have the good feelings of paying off a car. All right. So now, where then can we get some feedback, some motivation to stay on the program? Well, let me give you an idea here, because I can use these examples and I can reset the examples. Let me go back to action plan. And let's just say, now we can do each one of these, tell the program I'm paying the mortgage. I could do them individually, but what if, I've already done several things and I just want to tell the program to speed things up. So I can select the entire month here and click on execute multiple actions. And if the utility bill was, not $200, but it was $150 instead, I can make changes here. I can make changes in the date. I can make changes in the amounts. So we can update things here. So I can click on select all, so that these will be our final transactions on all of these things. And if we click execute here for the entire month of January, just by following the program, we are already saving an actual $112.17. Look at there. How much interest we save just by following the program. Now, is that a big deal? Not really. I mean, to some folks, but I'm telling you, I wouldn't want to lose $112. If I had $112 in my pocket, I really wouldn't want to lose it. I'd feel bad if I lost it. So why throw any amount of money away that you don't have to? Let's do the same thing for February. So we're going to select the month, click on execute multiple actions, do the entire month at a time, And there we go. Execute that. Oh, now we're up to 221.57. All right. But so that's kind of how the whole thing works. All right. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to reset. I'm going to show you how I'm going to reset the account here. Let me get this out of the way and reset the account for you. And then I'm going to show you some interesting things. Watch this. So let me go ahead and reset everything. And we're going to start over. Okay? And we're going to see how we can get some feedback from the program so that we can stay motivated. All right, there we go. All right, so here we go. We're going to go into, oh, here's one thing we want to watch. The program will actually tell us when our next transfer is to debt. That helps to motivate us. We start out in January and says we follow the program. The prediction is to take $3,119.80 and apply it to the debt. But what happens along the way if things change? Like this utility bill is not $200, like we said, it's actually $150. Watch what happens to our $3,119 here. So we tell the program we're only spending $150 on that, and now we're going to apply $3,169.80. That extra $50 is important in determining. It doesn't do much to bring down the principal, but it does a lot to save a ton of interest. That's what's important. So this is one of the things that the program does. It picks up the fragments along the way and makes sure that we use those fragments strategically. You know, what if you have $5 left from the food budget? Or, you know, you got a coupon this month and you could use it for your telephone or cable bill or something. And then you save a little bit of money there. What would you do with that extra money? What does it mean to apply it to principal at the right time? Apply it to principal at the right time and calculate your interest savings. Very interesting stuff here. So watch what happens. We see that the program now is calculating. We're going to pick up all the fragments. There's a verse in the Bible that says, gather up the fragments, that nothing be lost. And then when they gathered up the fragments, after Jesus fed the 5,000, there were 12 baskets full of food. And they started with a small amount of food, 2 fish and 5 loaves. And then when Jesus blessed it, after it was all over, 12 baskets full of fragments, that nothing be lost. So in this case, we're going to pick up all the fragments of money, that nothing be lost, so that we can have 12 baskets full of interest savings. Watch this. So we're going to start that process all over again and execute multiple actions here. Okay? And so, and collect here, and then execute. Okay, there's our $112. We're going to select month again for the month of February. Do the entire month and execute. Okay, now we're at 221.57. That's good. But now the program is saying we need to put money on the Visa and we need to put money on the mortgage. Are you seeing this here? All right. We're going to take money from the savings account. That's where it was being stored, and apply it to the debt. Knock out that debt and put extra principal on the mortgage and see what happens. All right. So we're going to select that. And go down to, we can't do the whole month of March here because we can't go, we we can, let me do it, let me clear this. So we're going to do March 1, we're going to do that, we're going to do this one, we're going to do this one, we're going to do this one. All right. And down to, this is, we have to do the 8th. So we'll do down to there. And when we execute multiple actions, all right, because we can't go past the date, we just have to adjust it to what's today? Okay. We'll go down here, we'll click this, and we'll click it on the 6th, okay? So that we can go ahead for our example here. Bam, there we are. So let's see here. There we are. Okay. And we'll click on select. Please adjust the date. I think I did 3636. Ah, okay. This one too, 36. All right, great. All right, so now we can execute. Look here. Wouldn't that be a motivator? In 3 months, knocking out, putting extra money on the debt, $7,854.55 in interest you'll never have to pay the bank. And we're going to get out of debt now in 7.5 years. Not 30 years to never, 7.5. How about that? Now, what if an opportunity came along and we could do a refinance? Okay, so let me show you one other thing, and that's one of the things we wanted to do here. And we can get a lower interest rate and refinance this thing. So what if we did this? We're going to stop share, we're going to reset, and I'll show you how all of this works. And we'll reset. And then what we're going to do is, now I get this question all the time. Now we got opportunity to get out of debt. We can save a certain amount of money. We can lower our payments. Now this payment is right now is $11.99.10. Okay, we're going to write that down. That's our payment, $11.99.10. And we're going to go ahead and see about resetting everything. All right, and we're going to take a look at how, taking care of the mortgage here and see if we can save ourselves some money. All right, so now here's the thing that you want to watch. Remember, the important thing is how much interest can I save? Keep that in mind when we're doing any of this. So let's go ahead and set this up. Okay, and reset. And go here. Let me see if I've got any questions. Nope. All right. There we go. And I went to the wrong one. We're going to do this one instead. There we go. We're going to do this scenario instead. We're going to keep it the same. I got like, 10 different scenarios in here that we could do. We got some that are multiple, bank accounts, multiple properties, all sorts of things going on. Okay. But we had an opportunity to work with an individual that wanted to pay off his car. He took $40,000 out of the bank to pay off his car. And then he says, now the money that I'm no longer paying on the car, I'm going to put that on my mortgage every month. That's $700. And then he gave us a call, and I said, well, why are you calling? That's exactly what the experts are teaching. He says, well, Don, I saw your video. Now I'm wondering if it did the right thing. So we did some calculating and figured out that he saved $7,700 in interest by paying off the car. But if it put it on the mortgage, if it put that $40,000 he had in the bank on the mortgage, it would have saved him $90,000 in interest and knocked several years off the mortgage. This is called opportunity cost. In fact, this was opportunity cost lost big time. So in other words, he could only spend that $40,000 one time. And when he spent it, he chose, unknowingly, but he chose to save $7,700 with that money when he could have saved $90,000 in interest with that money. Based on just that, by paying off the car the way he did, he actually extended the life of his loans because he's going to pay more interest now than he had to. So it's very important. Remember when I said that a lot of people believe that anything I do to get out of debt is as good as any other thing that I do, and it's not true. In one case saved him $7,700. In the other case, it would have saved him $90,000. That's a big difference. All right. So let me put this back on the screen with a little bit of time that we have left. Okay. Now we're going to take a look at the mortgage situation, and just so that you can know, if you have this program, what you want to do is never delete the old mortgage, because if you delete everything, that deletes your history with everything. So you don't, and if you're keeping track of how much interest you're saving along the way, that matters, okay? It may matter to you. So especially if you're using it as a motivator. So don't delete the mortgage. All you have to do to see what would happen if we put the same amount somewhere else, we would just change the amount, okay? Let's just say we were deep into this thing and we wanted to see what we would do. We just kind of zero this out so the program doesn't see that anymore. We paid that mortgage off, okay? And then we would go ahead and save that, all right? And then we could go ahead and then add another mortgage in. So we would go to add new account, put in another mortgage, and do it like that, okay? But now I want to show you what we need to do first. Let's go back, put our mortgage back in, 200,000. This is how you know if refinancing is going to be a good idea. So we're going to save that, all right? And everything goes back. And we're going to change this window over here to interest remaining. I got $56,721.53 in interest remaining. That's important stuff. We've already saved $179,000. We're working towards that. That's our potential interest save. And we got $56,721.53. So we don't have a whole lot left compared to what we had before. So any extra money we apply to this, we can't save another $159,000. We can only save a portion of the $56,000 we have left. So you want to be careful that you do not violate the law of diminished return. Putting a lot of extra money in to get out of debt, focused on the time element here, instead of focusing on how much interest we could save. So I've had people say, I can get out of debt in 4 years if I put enough money in, but the additional savings was another $15,000. That extra money would be better for them to put it in an investment, a safe investment that's going to make them a lot. And if you work with us here at the P.I.L.L Method, we have some of our wealth building coaches and experts work with you, and we're averaging for our clients 7%. It is fantastic. So the money that you're no longer paying in interest, invest that. So this is how we're taking that money and turning average families into millionaire families. It is great, using compound interest to your benefit by taking that money and investing it in some safe and sound investments. We'll be glad to talk to you about that as well. Give us a call. Go to the website um, and, uh, um, and ask for not only an analysis, but how can we grow our wealth with the interest we're no longer paying to the bank. We'll be glad to talk to you about that. So now there's 56,000. I'm going to write that down so we don't forget. 56,721.53 in interest remaining. And so we're going to go into edit. We're going to zero this one out. So we don't want to delete it, remember. Don't delete it. Just zero out that amount. The program will stop calculating on it. Okay? And then we will go in and add a new account. All right? So we're going to go in and add a new mortgage. Okay? This is, and we'll just call it new mortgage. All right? And the lender's the bank. All right? And then we'll go in and say, well, we still have 200,000, but let's say that you know how much your closing is. It's going to be 6,000. So your closing fee on this is $6,000. So we're going to have $206,000 for our mortgage now. 206,000. And let's say we could get not 6%, but let's say we can get to 4. All right, it's got to be better. All right. Remember, our payment was $1199.10. We got 360 payments. Okay, and and I just can't do all that math in my head, so I'm going to bring up an amortization calculator and tell me what my payment is going to be. So that's 206,000. Okay, oops. 206,000. All right, at 5%. No, 4%. All right, for 30 years, and our new payment is $983.44. You see, it's already better. $983.44. Okay, so okay, $1199.10 minus $983.44. That's a savings of $215.66. Okay, there we go. Okay, all right, $215.66. And if we multiply that by 12, like they do on TV, they say, okay, that's a year's worth of savings times 12. That's $2,587.92. $2,587.92 savings. Okay, a year. And they said that's how this thing is sold. All right. And then how do we figure out how we recoup our fee? So we would take the amount of money that we're saving and divide it into the $6,000, and that would tell us when we would recoup our amount of money. So we'll take the 6,000, okay, divide it by the 2587.92. That gives us 2.31 years. So it takes us 2.31 years to recoup how much the fee costs. So we got to stay in the house that long. And once you do that, they say it's worth it to refinance. Let me show you something that's really going on here. Okay. First of all, this is 206,000 at 4%. The amount of interest that the bank wants here is still $148,052.80. You got a brand new 30-year mortgage. Some people refinance after 5 to 7 years. So what they're not doing is adding that 5 to 7 years onto the new mortgage. So you don't end up with a 30-year mortgage. You just ended up with a 37-year mortgage. You were 7 years in, and then you refinanced for another 30. That's 37 years. Okay. So now it's this 148 is 71%, 71.87% of what you borrowed. You know, they call it 4%, but by the time it's done, this number, this 148,000, is not 4% of this number of the 206. So that's what's going on. Now, here's what I want to show you. This is important. The $6,000 is on top of the $200,000 that we owe. We have to pay the $6,000 back first. So let's look at cumulative principal. Cumulative principal adds up all the principal we pay in 1 year. Okay? These. At the end of 1 year, we've only paid back $3,627.79 of the principal. So that doesn't even cover all the fee. How much interest have you paid already? $8,173.97 interest on the closing fee because you rolled it into the mortgage. By the time we paid back the $6,000, it's right here, right around 20 months. Cost you around $13,541 to pay back the fee. So what really happened here? What really happened is you paid $6,000 for the refinance. The first $6,000 in interest that you paid, isn't that 100%? And the second $6,000 you paid to get it to $12,000 in interest, isn't that 200%? Did this person just pay over 200% interest on a $6,000 loan? Let me ask it another way. Is there any way I could get you to borrow $6,000 from me for 20 months and have you pay me $13,541 interest on the $6,000 loan? You'd say absolutely not. People who refinance do it every single day. So this isn't a $6,000 refinance, folks. This one is a $19,000, almost $20,000 refinance if we're not careful. So we're not trying to figure out how much we spent on the refinance by using just the $6,000. You have to focus on the interest you are spending to pay back the $6,000, almost $20,000, and everybody does that. So let's go back to the program now and put that in, and we'll figure out what's going on. So we go back to the program. Oops, not there. All right, go back to the program here, into accounts. All right, and let me see. Oh, I forgot. What is my payment? $983.44. So we'll put that in the payment amount, $983.44. Okay, payment amount, 4%. Let's see. Is that right? 206,983.44. Let me go back. All right. Payment 983.48. Boy, what's wrong with you, Don? All right. And 983.48. 0.48. There we go. Everything comes out right. And we save that. This is our new mortgage. We save it. And then it's going to tell us how much interest we have left to pay. Okay? So when we look at the interest remaining, and the interest we had remaining before, that tells us if it's going to be worth it for us to refinance. So this program can let you know if something is going to be worth it to you. And people ask me all the time, Don, is it worth it for me to refinance? I tell them, I don't know. Let's plug it into your program. Let's do the math. Let's figure it out. Okay? And now we see that it's $34,959. Okay? And we're done in 7.3 years. All right? So we'll say, okay, that's where we are. So we can go into this one now. We know what the deal is. We can delete this one because this is not the one we're going to use. So we delete that. Okay. Put it back in. Go back to our original one. Put in the 200,000 again because we didn't delete it. Okay. And let's see. And then we save it. Everything goes back the way it was. We have 56,000. So it looks like the refinance here in this case is going to be a better deal. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. I don't know. But would you like to know way ahead of time by focusing on what you need to focus on? The interest savings, the amount of interest that you're going to pay to accomplish a goal. So if it turns out that your refinance is going to save you money and you roll the fee into the mortgage, let me give you a little hint. Find the money and pay the fee off right away, and you save all that extra interest. So let me tell you what I'm talking about here. Let me put this on the screen. Okay, put it back on here. So if you have to, if it turns out that you're paying off them, doing a refinance is going to save you time and money, I don't always know, but in this case, find a way to take $6,000 and apply it to principal and get paid all the way down to here in 1 month. You save all of this interest, $13,541.51 minus the $686.67 on line one. So that is a little bit about why we need an opportunity cost calculator. It is not just throwing money at the loan willy-nilly. There's a lot more calculations going on. I have more examples, and the next time Finance Fridays comes back, we'll be able to go over even more examples as to why you need an opportunity cost calculator to make sure you don't spend more than you need to in interest. So as we wrap things up here, I'm going to put this on the screen. And so let me see here. We'll put that up. And, sorry. Take that out. Made a mistake. That's what you get for doing live TV. All right. So we're going to stop share. Okay. And we're going to take this. All right. And now, okay, let's see. Okay. And then share this and this. Okay. And then now we're going to go ahead and share it. And now you have our information on the screen. So don't forget to like us on Facebook. Go to the P.I.L.L Method International Facebook page. Like us on Facebook and keep up with where we're going. We just got back from St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, and we went over to Tortola in the British Virgin Islands to do seminars over there. Pretty soon we're going to be going to Aruba And we're going to be traveling all over the place, sharing the pill method message, and we'll keep you up to date on what's going on. So as you can see here, you want some more information about the pill method, text TPM to 36260. Here's our phone number. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. Also, don't forget to, when you see us on YouTube, then don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Here's our our email address, info@thepillmethod.com, and our website address. So until the next time we see you again, I want you to do whatever you can do, folks. It is so important to know that there is a better way to eliminate debt. Thank you. See you next time.